People have been mentally preparing. We're doing what you ask. We've done exactly what you said. Now you're changing the rules.
That rant to reopen going viral, grabbing the attention of millions. Some applauding it, others calling it appalling. Let's bring in Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy. Dave, we're going to talk stocks with you in just a minute, but we do want to talk about this rant first. It was a very impassioned rant, and you gave it from the standpoint of being a business owner, a founder yourself, correct? This is not political. It was not meant to be political. It wasn't meant to be blue or red. This is strictly from, hey, this is me talking, right?
Yeah, totally. And to be honest, the whole Corona thing, I don't think it ever should be political. It's a shame when it is, because everybody should be against Corona. I mean, it should be a unified stance against it. And, Barstool, I started myself, and it took me almost a decade to turn the corner with Barstool. And when I say I worked my fingers to the bone, I mean, there's 24 hours in a day. I was working 7 days a week. I'd wake up at 7 a.m., I'd go to bed at 1 a.m., and I just worked the entire time. And if Corona hit around the 10-year mark when I was doing Barstool, that would have been the end of me. And, that's a terrible way for somebody who spent a decent portion of their adult life to build to a certain point to have it end and have no say in it, no control in it. So that was really it. It's about choice at some level. Corona is obviously a horrible thing. The only thing we know for certain is if you don't reopen small businesses, they're going to go out of business. Their livelihood's going to be gone. I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen with Corona.
Sure.
I mean, the way they talk, who knows?
And we don't know, but we do know to some degree what happens when states do reopen, because a number of states have reopened, and we have seen the numbers play out so far. Minnesota, for instance, reopened April 27th. They've seen a 273% increase in cases since then. Iowa reopened May 1st. Cases are up 91%. South Carolina opened April 20th. Cases are up 89%. The list goes on, Dave. So while you may have a choice, this is playing out right now across the country. So are you saying that we should reopen even though so far the numbers are very difficult? These are percentages, but these are human lives behind these numbers.
I would say that anybody can grab the percentages or numbers anyway. I noticed Georgia wasn't in that state. Sweden is a country that hasn't gone on lockdown at all. And again, it's not political, but I very much could guarantee I could find you stats that contradict what you're going to say, and whether that be mortality rate, that be healthy people don't really suffer the same way that somebody who has a pre-existing condition. So I think that actually speaks to, depending on your angle, you can pull any stat, any number, anything you want to create the case you want. I've heard people say the CDC, wear masks, don't wear masks. I went on rant the week before and said you should wear a mask, and that became political. Everyone wants to get rid of it, but there is no distinctive numbers. I mean, the death rates right now, they're not astronomical, but is that because we did the lockdown? So I don't think there's answers. That's the problem. You don't know. So what if there is, like the LA mayor who said we'll never get back to normal without a cure? Well, what if there is no cure? Who's guaranteeing a cure? So we're just never back to normal, ever? So that the only thing that is certain is that if you don't allow people the chance, and by the way, when I say the chance, clearly, if you're elderly or you have a pre-existing condition, you're more susceptible. At some level, they're going to have to protect themselves. So maybe they have to be more careful. But somebody who's 25, 35 years old and perfectly healthy, they should have the choice, I think, to do what they think is in their best interest.
And your message has resonated with many out there, in fact. Elon Musk, for one, and he tweeted, well said, and he said, you should run for office. So just a quick question before we pivot to stocks, Dave. Are you going to run?
No, little known fact. I already tried. I ran for the mayor of Boston back in the day, and they screwed me. You had to get signatures, and I paid a whole company to do it, but they could discount any signature if they couldn't read it. And they conveniently said they couldn't read about 20,000 of my signatures, and I fell 1,000 short. But no interest in political office.
Okay, but you got the T-shirt just in case. Portnoy Musk 2024. You got that ready. You never know. Let's talk about stocks. You started, the last time you were here with us, you told us a very cautionary tale. You put in $3 million to work in the market, quickly lost $600,000. Taking big losses in names like Boeing, Lululemon, Shake Shack, and now the latest read is that you're down $1.1 million. And
yeah, I don't like that graphic. That graphic's gross, but it's true.
Why is that? That is the truth. That is your portfolio, Dave.
Yeah, I wish it was the other way.
And yet you keep going into Boeing. You came on the show last time. You asked about Boeing. Our traders couldn't be more clear about that stock, and you just can't quit it.
I'm a Boeing. I'm addicted to Boeing. You're right. I can't quit it. So I actually made a comeback. I was down 600. I went down $1 million, and I basically got even. But this week has been a disaster because I went on a cruise and airlines tirade. And when I say tirade, I was backing them. Warren Buffett came out and said, get out of the airlines. I said, what does the old man know? I'm going into the airlines. It did not work out in my favor. They came back today, the cruises, but I wasn't part of them. Spirit Airline, that also is one I don't like. That killed me. And the thing that I'm learning, so I went heavy on Spirit Airline. And the firm Raymond James, about 5 seconds after I went heavy on Spirit, came out and told everyone to get out. And this is something maybe the traders will know. I'm convinced what's happening with a lot of these stocks. So Raymond James, I don't know how much they manage, but I'm sure they sold all their Spirit before they came on and said, hey, get out of Spirit. Guess what? They look like geniuses. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I'm sitting here with DDTG Global, and I'm getting murdered by it. So I do think the airlines and the cruises are going to come back. I really do. When they do, who knows? But I don't think Spirit's going out of business. I don't think Boeing's going out of business. I don't think Norwegian's going out of business. And they're all trading so low that you're going to get 4 or 5x your money eventually. And even if 1 or 2 go out of business and you're diversified, you'll still probably make money.
Hey, David, Sky, thanks for being here. So to answer your first question, there's supposed to be some sort of firewall between research and trading that sort of keeps those types of things from happening, number one. Number two, you're a very emotional person, which makes you fantastic. But being emotional in trading is very difficult. Do you think you're able to take the emotion out of your trading and maybe it'll make you a better trader? So
the only thing I can do, it's a great question. I have to come up with a strategy that I just get up and walk away because I'll never take the emotion. I'm an emotional guy. Like even that rant that we showed earlier, a lot of people are being like he was yelling and screaming. That was like monotone for me. That was not over the top. So I'm an emotional guy and, you know, I'm live streaming it. So it's sort of a show that I'm putting on. I probably wouldn't be doing the same things if it wasn't for the public consumption, but it is. But I keep making a move. I have to tell myself when I think I've hit rock bottom, get up and walk away because I always make the move at the exact wrong time. Like the second I sell it, it goes back up. Mm-hmm. I think so. That is something emotional. I think if I just got up when it's all right, it can't get worse than this, go for a walk and come back, I think I'd be in better shape.
I think you just pulled the curtain, Dave. I mean, you just pulled aside the curtain because I thought that guy in the rant was you all the time, holed up in your New York City apartment. But it's a little bit of a disappointment, to be honest. I guess you can't be that way all the time.
My head would explode if I walked around that. I was mad when I did that because I was in the stock market and Fauci went before Senate and the stock market went, and then I started researching. I'm like, and that was a change in tone for me. But
sure.
I'm not that riled up. I'm a nice enough person if you just see me walking down the street.
You seem A-okay, Dave.